Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are playing again with the Stronger Together stamp set and these new dies that I got from Sizzix, and they are called the Stack DECKLE, and there are 5 dies in that set. And we're also going to be using again the Oh Happy Day paper from Carta and Echo Park. We're going to be making 2 cards today, and I pre-cut 2 pieces of 80-pound Neenah Solar White down to 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm taking the largest image off the stamp set and then one of each of the bigger sentiments. We're going to make 2 cards today, and so we're going to just put one sentiment on, stamp it, and then we're going to take that sentiment off and put the other one on and stamp it. We're going to leave the flowers in the same place and just ink that up really good. I'm using Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink, and I just want a really strong, bold stamp there, so I did ink it up about 3 times there and stamp it. And then we're going to be doing some Copic coloring, and just to keep the time down on the video, I'll show you 1 flower in each of the color combinations and one of the leaves, and then we will move along. The color combinations will be listed over on my blog, and there'll be a link to the blog post down in the video description below, along with all of the products used in this video. Sorry about that. My husband called. He was out looking at a job today. Anyway, so linked in the video description below will be the blog post and all of the items used in making these cards. These cards today are going to be a front flip card, so a little bit of a different design. I've been looking for different ways to make cards, so it's just not always the standard, thing that we do every day. And so this is a new one. I've never made a card like this, so it's different, and so something fun to try. Okay, so on these pink flowers, I come in with my darkest color, and I'm laying in all the areas that I want to be the darkest in the shadows, and I'm adding some little ruffled kind of effects to that front petal of this flower, and I'll just keep elongating that as I go down into the colors, just to keep making it longer and longer, and then I will finally fill in with my lightest color. Now, in doing that, I kind of washed out all that a lot, and so I went in with one of my midtones, a couple of my midtones, and tried to get those shadows and things back in there. There's my color combination for the leaves. I don't think I showed the pinks, but like I said, I will have it listed on my blog. And I just went again, well, here I went lightest to darkest, and then to lightest, or anyway. So I tried to put the vein in, and so then from then on I went darkest to lightest, and I'm going to add the vein later with a Sakura Glaze pen, and I think that turned out really good. So I decided to use my toners, my T0 and T1 pens or markers to go around this whole image, and I think it did give it a little something, made it pop. Oh, and also just faded it off with my colorless blender, and there you can see all the coloring of all the flowers and the leaves. So here is where I'm going to go over all these stems and stuff with my Sakura Glaze green. It's a dark green, kind of an olivey kind of green, and so I thought that would be good to make all the stems. And then with a very, very light hand, I kind of fade out that center vein on all the leaves. So not only did I get the color and the fine lines, but it also is raised a little bit because it is the glaze, and so I really kind of like the texture that it added to the image. So then I took a white Gellyroll, and I think it was the number 8 size, and I'm just going to put little dots along the top of each of the petals, and I just think it added just a little something different, and it's a kind of a different kind of highlight. You really can't see it unless really good in the video or the photos, but in person you can see it, and it just adds a little extra something, you know, to it. These are all just quick and easy little things that you can do to dress up your images, and I think using my Sakura pens is a really great way just to add something to all of my cards. So you saw that was a very strange looking color combination for these teal colored flowers, and it is a bit different to work with, but I think it made a really unique kind of highlight on these flowers. You'll see as it comes together. There's several pens working it darkest to lightest, and then once again, like the pink one, I will come back in and re-strengthen those darker shadow areas. I'm not quite sure which one I like best. I do pink flowers a lot, and pink's always pretty and it's vibrant and it, you know, really pops off the page, but I think this gives a really sweet, subtle color, and it's different. So I like doing something different, and, you know, not just the standard reds or pink flowers or whatever. So it's just a little bit of something different. So here are both of them side by side. As I said, the teal combination doesn't pop as much as the pink, but I think it's still pretty. I took the two largest size dies from that DECKLE set and cut out my image that I colored and that other pattern paper. This pattern paper I just trimmed out, and my card base is 110 pound solar white, and it's cut to 5x7, and then this is from that Oh Happy Day from the 12x12 papers, and it is cut just 1/4 inch less, so 4.75 by 6.75. And I decided to ink around all the edges. Something I haven't done in a while, so I just decided this would be a really pretty card to ink around all the edges on. And so I just showed you a little bit of this, so not to bore you with all that inking. And I think I used Crest Pistachio on these and inked around all those edges as well. And I decided to break out the foam pads, not the brushes, just because I wanted to get just a very thin line of ink around the edges. Okay, so I folded my card base opposite so I could get the inside of the card, and I wanted to use that longest stamp that's in the stamps on the stamp set, and I just inked it up with those two Distress inks. And I know Distress ink doesn't stamp extremely well, but I just wanted this lightly on the inside of the card, so I was okay with the way that it stamped. So I'll put that away, and then we will start putting all this together. And I didn't stamp a sentiment on the inside of this. I thought when the time comes that I want to use it, then I will put the appropriate sentiment on the inside, or I'll just write on the inside. Okay, so I'm just gluing this down first, and so this does not open. That's just a flat piece of paper, and then this is going to be my part that opens, and I'm just making sure I have my ends together before I reinforce that fold with my bone folder. And then I saw that it was just slightly off, so I just took my Tim Holtz little trimmer there and just gave it a chop, and that thing will cut through multiple layers of just about any cardstock. So I'm going to glue this down in the center of that, and that is like a A2 size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card. And then I'm going to glue this onto the front of the flat panel, and then I will use my foam tape to pop up the colored image. Once I get the foam tape on this piece, then we will move along to the teal colored card, and we will get that all put together. And at the end of this video, I will show you pictures of both the cards and the insides of the cards. But before we get there, there will be one final embellishment on the outside of the cards, and it will be some crystal gems that I got in one of our Simon Says stamp card kits. And I'm just going to sprinkle them on the outside of the card. Oh, and of course I do have to add some glitter pen, glitter sparkle pen, whatever you want to call these things, and those gems, and that will finish up these cards. as always, I thank you for stopping by and watching my videos and thumbs upping, sharing, commenting, liking, all that good stuff. It really helps my channel to grow, and I truly appreciate it. And so here are those gems, and this will do it. Like I said, there'll be final pictures at the end, and I will see you soon in the next video. Thanks.